What if I told you that you can wash your body and exfoliate all in one bar? Well, today you can, because we're making a poppy seed exfoliating soap, and it feels like luxury, smells like luxury, but it's all made from your home. So let's get started.
I wanted this soap, to be very nourishing, so we're using a melt and pour soap base, but we're using an olive oil melt and pour soap base, and then we have our goat's milk melt and pour soap base. We're also going to use poppy seeds, spirulina indigo powder, and then also charcoal powder. I have already gone ahead and cut up the soap base, and I chopped it up into equal squares so that it's easier to melt down in the microwave or your double boiler. If you are using a microwave, you want to melt it down in 30-second bursts until it's fully melted. And for this one, we are going to first start with the bottom of it, which will be our olive oil soap base. While the olive oil soap is melting down, we're going to go ahead and prepare our spirulina powder. We're going to add a little alcohol to it. You can also use a fragrance oil or any other oils. This just makes sure it doesn't clump up into the soap when you begin to pour the colorant into the soap. It's going to give it a nice blue color. Our olive oil base is now fully melted. If yours is not, do not worry. Just put it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds until it is fully melted. I want my bar to smell really, really good, so I'm going to add fragrance to every single layer of the bar, starting with this one, and then stir it really well. Then I pour my spirulina powder in and stir it really, really well, making sure it's evenly mixed together. I want the layers to be diagonal, so I'm going to prop up my mold before I then pour in the bottom soap layer. Spritz away the bubbles with some rubbing alcohol and then let it sit for a couple hours to harden. For the middle layer, we're going to prep our clay just like we did the spirulina powder, and then use a sponge brush to kind of paint on the middle layer, because we just want it to be a nice little fine line between the bottom and then the top layer. After about 30 minutes, that middle layer of the clay should be dry, so we can then work on the top layer, which is our goat's milk soap. So I'm adding a little bit of Manuka honey for some extra moisture, extra hydration. Once again, adding my fragrance so that we can have a nice smelling fragrant bar. Mix the fragrance and add your yellow colorant. You prepare your colorant the same way we did the clays. I'm using mica powder, but you could also use, for yellow, calendula petals, curry powder, saffron, or turmeric. And then you just mix it all together. Before you add any type of exfoliants, you always want to check the temperature. Because with melt and pour soaps, when you're adding exfoliants into it, they can sometimes tend to be too heavy and they will sink directly to the bottom. So you need to check the temperature to make sure it's thick enough for the exfoliant. If you find that it's still too hot, then let it cool down while mixing occasionally to make sure that it does not thicken up too much or harden on you, and then take the temperature again. When adding exfoliants to melt and pour soap, the goal is to try and get it between 125 to 135 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you can begin adding in your exfoliants so they don't sink. Then pour, and then of course spritz the tops so that you do not get any soap bubbles. Once you've poured that last layer, let it sit for a couple hours or either overnight, and then you can unmold your soap. Yay, now we can actually cut the soap. Don't cut it like I did. I had a complete brain fart and cut it the wrong way, so I had to go back and cut it again, but now I have little soap nuggets, but at least you can see the little diagonals in there.
And boom, just like that, your new favorite exfoliating bar is done and it's ready for you to use. If you have enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss another video. Until next time, happy crafting.